Alright, today they gave me the code so I can change my P settings. Voltcycle sent me the parameters. Let's take a stab at it and see what happens. Alright. Ooh, baby! Worked like magic. Let's go to P08. So I'll set at 35. I did not go 35. I wish I was going 35. Let's put it up to 100. Went way too fast. Way too fast. Alright, let's try this. Uh-oh. I have no idea what P9 is. Let's get out of here. Alright, well, let's see. Let's go back into it and see if it's stuck. What? Every time? Jeez. I guess I'll have to go in there and get rid of this. So 0, 0, 9. Oh, it left off at P09. I'll go back and I'll change some of these later, but I just want to make sure my P08 code was at 100, and it is. All right. I'll be taking this on a test ride shortly. Wish me luck. We got our first test here. It did 28 on the bike stand, but let's see what it does here. That was a downhill right there. But we had a little bit of a downhill there. I got to 28, but felt like it was faster with the old controller. I had 28. It's doing it, but I feel like it could have been better. Here, let's try it again. This is completely flat right here. Yeah, 27. Yeah, I hit 28, so. Miles an hour, so it's doing it. That's all it's got. So this, if anything, has a very slight upgrade, but it's super small. I did get this bike to go up to 28 miles an hour everywhere else. Let's see how it does on this one. Well, it is getting up to 28 as advertised, so it's got a small incline here, so got a little bit of a struggle. I do feel the other controller did better for some reason, but the speedometer and odometer didn't work, so. So I'm pedaling right now, no throttle. Getting to be at 26 area. I do feel that the smaller controller for the 16-inch wheel, I feel like it was a little faster. Not much, but I felt like it held 28 miles an hour better. Alright, so I got the Voltcycle here. This is going to be my final review, at least at this time, for the Voltcycle. I do like the bike. My biggest qualm is that I've had problem from the dealer. The dealer did help me out by sending parts. So they did send the necessary parts for me to get it repaired. But, you know, who wants to go through that hassle? Who wants to have to buy a brand new bike and off of Amazon, get it shipped to your house, and then repair it? So, like, a lot of you got, if you guys don't know, it had a E010 error code. The speedo wasn't working, and the odometer wasn't working. So they sent me the parts. They sent me a controller. They sent me a display and some wiring. Come to find out, they had installed a 16-inch controller on a 20-inch bike. So after swapping out the controller and the display, it works now. I had to get the code from them to unlock the monitor. Got an e-bike code for you guys. So we got 0099, and that gets you into Voltcycle displays to change the parameters and settings. Trying to finish off this review here. Sorry, my battery died while I was outside on my phone. Yeah, so would I buy it again? I think it's a cool looking bike. I think now that it's functioning as it's supposed to, I do like it. I wish I could have just sent the bike back and they send me a new one, but in order to do that, it might have been just as much work as just replacing the controller and the monitor, because if I send it back and they send me a new one, then I'd have to put the front tire on, the fenders, the headlight, and the, you know, the pedals and everything. It probably was more work to send it back than it was for me just to fix it. So luckily for me, they sent me the parts back. I think it's a nice looking bike. I'm 6 foot tall and I can ride the bike comfortably, even though I'd prefer to stretch out a little bit with my legs when pedaling. But if you're a woman or a smaller, you know, teenage child, this bike would probably be perfect for you. From what I've seen with the battery so far, it's got some decent range. The furthest we've had the battery down is about halfway. And my daughter rode it pretty far, to be honest. I think it's a nice looking bike. I think all these China-made e-bikes have about the crappiest tires that you could send for a fat bike tire. I mean, if you're gonna make it look like you can go off-roading, let's make the tires a couple millimeters thicker so it could resist some punctures. You know, we had 6 punctures in the front tire already. Luckily, none in the rear tire yet, which I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. I ended up putting new tubes with puncture resistant and tire liners to help with the punctures on the front. I think the better option would be to get a thicker tire, would be the better option. Because because you're probably almost spending the same amount of money by the time you put tire liners and tubes in it, except for the fact that I had to buy tubes anyway. So I was in it for tubes no matter what. So I put puncture resistant tubes and tire liners in the front. I have not done the rear. I have the stuff, I just haven't done the rear. I'm kind of waiting for it to have a leak. But would I buy it again? I think I would. Customer service was good. I got the parts I needed. They've answered all my questions as timely as they could. Cool looking bike. 28 miles an hour. I wish it went faster. I think 28 miles an hour is it, unfortunately. I've seen some other China-made bikes that go over 30. I was kind of hoping this one would, but it doesn't. It's 28 miles an hour and that's it. But that will keep your kid from getting into too much trouble, to be honest. So that might be a good thing. I don't know how many people want out their kids cruising around at 50 miles an hour. So I think that's probably good, and as far as common sense goes, because let's face it, the brakes, they're good enough, but they're not motorcycle brakes. So they'll stop you in a decent amount of time, but if you get a car pull out from you and you're going faster than 35, 40 miles an hour, I wouldn't want to have these brakes on it. I think they're good as far as bicycle speeds, but not more than that. And cruising around at 28 miles an hour, these brakes do their job, but I'm 200 pounds. If a car was to pull out in front of me, I'd be pulling on this thing as hard as I could, and I don't know if it would stop me in time. A 100-pound kid, probably great. The brakes probably work great for my daughter. She's, under 100 pounds. But there's other options that have taller seat heights. This one's perfect for a teenage kid, 31.5-inch seat height. And some of the other ones out there run around 33, 33.5 on the other brands. So if you're looking for something for a woman or a smaller child or teenager, this could be it for you. $700 is what I paid for it with shipping and everything. I was looking at a high keep before this one, and the shipping was actually going to cost me more, and it was taller, and I was buying this for my daughter. So $700 seems to be around the to-go price. You might be able to get it cheaper on a flash sale, or who knows. And I'm not even 100% sure if they're still making this model or not. I know they sold out. We'll see if they're still selling this model or not. It's a nice looking bike. I think they still would. I do not like the fact that the wiring goes through the frame right there, because as far as off-roading goes, that's a no bueno. And let's just face it, you got this tire here chucking water off in this area, and this thing's only water resistant, so you get into too much rain or whatever, and all the water is going to get slung right into that. Maybe a rubber or a metal like skid plate there would be recommended, because if you eat these wires right there, that's game over for your controller. You're going to need a new controller and wiring kit. So keep it on the pavement is what I'd recommend, or trails with no rocks for sure. That's my review. I do like the bike. I hope you guys have less problems than what I had, but if you do, the manufacturer did help me out. Like and subscribe.